Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to one of my video here. Today I have going on is a Toyota Tundra 2004, and what I'm doing today is replacing a new lower ball joint and at the same time replacing the driver's side axle. What happened here is a family member of mine went out and about on an early morning on this morning, which is a Sunday, and I have a phone call that there was a problem. The lower ball joint on her vehicle on the driver's side went out, and she had to come to a stop and found out that her wheel was flopped outside. So of course it didn't look too good. This is something that's known to Toyota. But anyways, I did got to the scene there, noticed that the driver axle popped out at the same time this happened. So when I was there, the first thing I did is, bring a jack and put it up and try to put the ball joint right back into its location where the ball joint socket is at, and then that was able to keep the ball joint stable. And then when I got my trailer, came back and hauled it home, and then I got home, and of course, as you guys see in this video, I'm working right off the trailer because I figured that I could just do this on the trailer while all three other wheels was still strapped it on. Anyways, you see here, I just show you guys like a few seconds ago. I'm using a 35mm socket, okay, and in order to start to work on this step, you're gonna have to use a screwdriver to slide in just in the same location I'm doing right here right now, and then you will then go ahead and attach your 35mm socket with a wrencher, and then you're gonna use a breaker bar, and you're gonna have to press down. On this video here, I did got it to loosen up a little bit, but this is just tutorial purposes. But yes, you will then remove it, and then once you get this socket right here removed, you will then go to the next process. So don't forget, it has the socket lock too. So yeah, you want to keep this socket lock in a safe place so you don't lose it. It's very important to have it at the end of this whole step. Anyways, right here on this point right here, I'm trying to use a rubber mallet, trying to hit the axle out. Of course, like I said, during the accident that happened, the inside part of the axle that attaches to the front differential already popped out. So we only have the part that is still hooked up to the hub that's still in. So right now I'm trying to knock it out. It is something that will probably need a sludge hammer. That's why I went ahead and grabbed a sludge hammer. And I'm using an impact socket that will help me to just kind of push all the way through. Of course, you don't want to hold into this impact socket while you're hammering. Again, this is DIY. This is just common sense stuff. So I use a vice grip, clamp on it, and then hit it gently, slowly. And then, of course, you want to put some good weight too. But you got to be careful. You don't want to hit anything else as you make damage to other parts. So at this point right here, I'm able to take it out after a few play, and then now I'm able to remove the axle out. Then you guys gotta always be careful because it gets heavy and things could drop on your hands and you can get hurt. Now, so I went ahead and bought a new axle because when I saw this axle, the CV boot wasn't good. So of course I did tell the relative that, hey, it's time to just get a new axle. This is right here. And then I already go ahead and got into this part here. This is where I start to remove the lower ball joint unit. Alright, so the socket I'm using here is actually a 17mm socket, and it has 4 bolts that bolted this lower control arm unit onto your hub. And once you got that removed away from your hub, you would then go ahead and remove the nut that holds the lower control arm unit to your outer tie rod. So of course, like I said, this is going to be the lock pin. You're going to remove this. This pin is for safety so that the nut that was to put on it won't come out loosened by itself as you know, of course, drive in the street. So this this nut right here is actually a 19mm socket that I'm using right here to remove this nut. Once you got that nut removed, of course, you know, you want to put the nut right back in. You feel it when it's nice and flat. You keep it like that so that you can hit it with a hammer or something so that you won't bend the flanges. Because, you know, if you bend it, then later on it will be really complicated to put it back in. So you keep it nice and flat. You can hit it with a hammer a couple of times and it will most likely just pop right out. So that's how it looks like, the lower ball joint unit. As you can see, it's pretty ugly. Now this part right here, I'm showing you guys putting in the new axle to the transfer, not transfer, but the axle, put it into the front differential unit, and then you know you gotta kind of make sure that it's in, tap it a little bit, you know, and then once you notice that it's snug pretty good, you can tap it a little bit more. As you tap, you want to make sure you kind of turn it around, wiggle it around a little bit to make sure the teeth goes in, and then when it's all the way flush like this, you're good to go. Now on this part right now, I'm trying to remove the ball joint itself, the ball, and of course everything I'm doing here is no power tool. It's all, you know, using whatever you have. So I'm using a sludge hammer to work as my impact, or to give it some torque. So this, as you can see, it's shaved sideways, the whole entire ball joint part on the bottom where the bolt that just came off, the nut and the bolt, because when it slide on the ground, it just skirt for like maybe a good 100 foot before the vehicle starts. So this is a picture of the old and new ball joint. I'm about to put it in, and that's the new ball joint unit. Of course, I strapped everything, the axle and the hubs, everything up so it'd be out of the way, so I could put this ball joint in and press it down, twist the nut on, and then I'm gonna go ahead now push the axle right into the hub unit. And then of course, as you push it in, you want to kind of twist your axle, shake it a little bit, and right when it finds its groove, it will go all the way in. Make sure that it comes out, stick out pretty far, and then you go ahead and put in your new number, the 35mm socket in, and then go ahead and tie it up. Of course, on this part here, I haven't bolt all the 4 bolts for the ball joint, but you can go ahead and snug it up a little bit and finish this part later on. But as you guys can see, I use a screwdriver on the bottom right there in the front to make sure that when I twist it, the rotor doesn't turn. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put these 4 bolts on the bottom that holds the lower ball joint to the hub. Tied it up. ahead and tighten everything up from the bottom. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put in the outer tie rod back in, tighten everything up. I noticed that, you know, of course, some of you may think that once I'm already here, why don't I just go ahead and replace all this stuff? But of course, you know, based on relative, you know, budget is really tight, so we're just gonna go ahead and get it up and running again. This is actually 19mm sockets once again, and I'm gonna go ahead and tighten everything up. We're almost done at this point, so make sure you don't forget to put in your lock pin and then flip it open just to keep itself safe, secure. Then you go ahead, don't forget your little cap lock. Put this back on, drop in your lock pin, same thing. Make sure that you open it up so that it doesn't fall off. It will help secure everything in. I kind of tap it with my little wrench right here because it has a flat end like this. So this flat end will actually catch it and push it down as I'm pulling the clamp. But if you actually straighten everything out, then it should just drop in, no problem. So now I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the bottom nut down here, nice and tight. You see all those battle scar on my forearm right there. Scratches, debris, stain, dirty, you name it. Being a mechanic is no joke. Alright, don't forget to put the cap at the end. Once that's done, everything's good to go. Make sure you check all the nuts and bolts one more time. Once it's good, go ahead and put your tire back on. At this point, you're pretty much done. Once you tighten up all these lug nuts, and you should be good to go. So again, I hope this video will help out. I hope you enjoy watching this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and stay tuned for my next video. I'll see you guys.